All right, here we go. It's been a couple of days. To be honest, I had to recover at my age, 44, almost 45, having more than 4 or 5 drinks in a fun party setting usually takes a toll and knocks you out, man. So Sunday I was definitely hungover. Not as bad as I have been hungover, but I was pretty hungover. Yesterday, it was Monday, I didn't have shit to talk about. I was planning on doing a mic, but my mic wasn't working. I shot a few minutes in the morning. I was like, hey, today we're going to do a mic at my house. And then started feeling like crap. Then my microphone, I went to plug it in. It didn't work. I went, literally yesterday, went and bought a new cable. So because my microphone wasn't working when we went to use it right before Thanksgiving. It was a show I produced, and it was a backyard show, and I told them I had an amplifier and a microphone and the cord. I had all that stuff. We show up, we set it up, and then, of course, the microphone wasn't working. This is a $200, Sennheiser mic, and it wasn't working. And then I was told that a lot of times XLR cables go bad. They have poor connections. I'm like, oh, okay. I look it up, and I guess that's pretty common. So my dumbass tossed the cable in the trash, in the recycling bin. Going, oh, okay, well, I need a new XLR cable. I tossed it in the trash. Went on, and that was 2 weeks ago. Yesterday, went to the electronics store to get an XLR cable. Got an XLR cable, got home, plugged it into my microphone and my amp, turned it on. No sound. What the fuck? Are you serious? So, I have other microphones, but they're podcast microphones and whatnot. So I have the Shure mic, podcast mic. And so I plugged in the cable from my amp into the Shure mic, and right away it had sound. I was like, it's not the cable. I probably threw out a perfectly good XLR cable. So a little annoyed about that. And then I look, and I'm like, well, this is a $200 microphone. I don't want to just throw it away. I don't want to just give it away if it's something simple. So I look it up, and it's a common issue with that microphone that this really small little microfilament wire tends to break at a connection spot. It's accessible, but it's tiny, micro dick tiny. You know what I'm saying? So I found a soldering gun for $15, and I'm waiting for that to come in. It's supposed to come in tomorrow. And I'm going to attempt, the very first time I've ever soldered, I'm going to attempt to fix a $200 microphone. I have no idea if it's going to work out, or, I don't know. I do paint miniatures. Not the midget ones, but real miniatures. I paint miniatures. So I'm assuming that I'll be able to do it. But we'll see what happens. Right now, I am in the car. I'm headed to the Hollywood Improv. It's Tuesday. They have their open mic every Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday nights. It's hit or miss if Rita, the booker, is there. But a lot of time, more often than not, she's there. Probably 9 out of 10 times. Not 9 out of 10. Maybe 7 out of 10 times I go, she's there. So that's good odds. The odds of getting up are small because there's easily 200, 250 comedians in the room. You're pulling for a 3-minute spot, and they're pulling out of the bucket. There's always nepotism going on. Whoever's hosting is always calling up some of their friends and whatnot. So that reduces the odds of getting called. But it's an audition mic. So I'm going to go do a joke I've been doing for a few years about my son getting in a fight with the little Armenian kid on the soccer field. I'm going to go try that. It's in a room full of jaded comics. Every time I do comedy in front of that room full of comedians, and I do comedy about my daughter or my son, It's hit or miss. It usually doesn't go over too well. The stuff that goes over well in that room is like butt stuff, and it's like, because it's a room full of like 30 to 50-year-old people who've heard everything, and they just want to talk about sex and butt stuff, and it's so stupid. But there are comedians who I've seen get up there and talk about their kids who are absolutely hilarious. You're crying. They're so funny. So that's my fault. If I get up and I start talking about my kids, and that message isn't conveyed to that room, and I'm not getting a big enough laugh, does that mean it's not going to get a laugh in front of a room with a different audience? No, not at all. But at the same time, like, I want to be able to talk about my kids and make a room full of jaded comics laugh. I think that'd be hilarious. I think that'd be amazing. So that is always the goal, is to make that room laugh, but more so to make Rita laugh. As a comedian, you know, I'm sure it's the same in New York. You got to get past. Well, Pete Holmes, the comedian, did this show called Crashing for 3 seasons on HBO, and wonderful, wonderful show. Highly recommended if you're a comedian or want to be a comedian, because it's all about the comic life. But he goes in towards I think it's in season 1. He goes in the Comedy Cellar to basically do an audition. And he does well. He has the room laughing. And he goes to talk to the booker, and she's like, so what? Like, okay, you're funny. She's like, but like, who are you? You didn't show me who you really were on that stage. Like, she's like, I got 3 or 4 dozen middle-aged white dudes who do the same exact jokes. But what makes you stand out? What makes you unique? And she said that, and it's absolutely true. Part of being a comedian is it's like being an artist. There's so many artists: music, contemporary, classical art, comedy, writers, authors, poets. How do you stand out? How? So trying to figure that out. This is part of this journey. Like, how do you I've been doing this for 5 years, and have I evolved? 100%. 100% have evolved. And I've gotten better. I've gotten faster. I've gotten wittier. I've gotten sharper. I've made a room of 350 people fucking rolling loud. And it's amazing when that happens. Oh my God, it's amazing. But then when you do that joke in front of that same room and no one laughs, oh my God, it's daggers. Oh, it's daggers. Oh, you want everything to go away. And so the goal is to just step 1, get called, get my name pulled. Step 2 is to go up there and do my thing. Do the best I can. Take a joke that I've done 100 times already, and have told that story, and have done very well in rooms with that story. But get up and, yeah, it would be fun to make the room laugh, but more importantly, make Rita laugh, because you can hear her laugh. It'll be quiet in that room, and you'll hear her go, ha! Like, you'll hear her laugh. It's really distinct. And if you can make her laugh, that's a good thing. She's always taking notes on her laptop, and she's keeping track of everyone. If you've done comedy at one of those mics, your name is on her laptop. She's keeping track of it. If you go and talk to her afterwards for feedback, and she gives you feedback, she makes mental notes of that shit. And she wants to see you like evolve and progress. And, oh, he did this joke a few months ago. Oh, I did like this joke a lot. I told him he should shorten it up, or he should be a little faster, or don't make too many pauses, or whatever. Work on your timing. And he has. I've just seen this joke again. It's definitely improved. And then at the end of it all, it'd be nice to win set of the night. Like my boy Miguel has won set of the night several times at the Improv. He's won many times at the Laugh Factory. I have no idea why he hasn't been booked yet. I honestly have no idea, because the dude's funny. The dude can go out there and rock with the biggest comedians and have a room just in tears, bent over laughing. So I don't know why he hasn't got passed yet, but hopefully that's something that will happen for him soon. But this is one avenue for a comedian. It's not the only avenue. There are many different ways to be seen. There's many different ways to generate revenue as a comedian. There's different ways to grow, to find opportunities. And this is only one. It's part of the game, man. It's part of the game. You got to be in it. You know what I mean? I was told early on, like, don't go there if you don't have solid material. It's an audition, Mike. And it's intimidating if you go there and you're not sure. Go there with no intention of throwing your name in the bucket. Just go there and sit there through the 90 minutes and it's free. It's not like you have to buy anything. You don't have to buy any drinks or anything. Just go. Watch the comedians. Watch the caliber, the level of comedians getting on that stage. It's impressive. And quite honestly, it's intimidating. But that's part of the growth process. If you want to be a featured comedian, you have to say yes when someone calls you up and says, hey, do you have 30 minutes? Do you have 20 minutes, 30 minutes of material? I want to have you feature for this headliner. Or I want you to feature for me. Okay, well, at some point, you have to say, yes, I do. And you have to take all those 5-minute sets that you've been working on for the last few years and smush them together and figure it out like a Rubik's Cube. What order is best? And you might not know. You might go do the feature spot and you might have some laughs, but you might be up there for 30 minutes and have some pretty big lulls. And just do okay, mediocre, maybe not good at all. But you have to get up there and say yes. And then other comics and producers have to see, like, oh, they do have 30 minutes material. Yeah, they didn't laugh, but we all know. If you're in this industry as a comedian, as a producer, we all know. We all have good nights and bad nights, and we all know. The point is you have the material. And, oh, that's a funny joke. Or, oh, that's a funny premise. Or, oh, have you tried saying it this way? Point is, you got to say yes. I got asked to do a headlining spot last month. And I was like, oh, you want me to headline? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, well, how much time do you want me to do? And she said an hour. And I said, no, I'm not ready for that. And I'm not. I have maybe 45 minutes of material. Could I have gotten up there for an hour and bullshit with the audience and tried to do some crowd work and stuff? Yeah, I could have. But for me, I'm not in a rush to be a headliner. I want to be a headliner, absolutely. But I don't want to get there, say I can do it, get up there, and then make a bad example. Leave a bad impression for a booker or for a comedy club. And like, people bought tickets for this show and they left like dissatisfied. Like, I don't want to be that comedian. There are comedians who do that. And I don't want to be that guy, that comic. So right now, we're just going to head to the Improv. Been doing this for a while now. I actually got up for the first time at the Improv for the mic. And here's the thing. I've done shows at the Improv already. But they were produced shows. And some of those shows I have been sandwiched between Jay Moore and Maj Jobrani. And had Maj Jobrani double fist bump me as I walked off stage. And he was like, bro, you killed it. That is such a good feeling when you have a big comic like that follow you up and say you killed it. I had Tony Rock get up there and kill it. But before that, he followed me and he got up and started talking about my jokes and my family. And it was a huge compliment. That means that motherfucker was listening to me. I love it when a comic listens to my set and gets up and tags it. I always try to do the same. I think for me, it's a sign of respect. I like to follow comedians and try to tag one of their jokes. It's an easy, free joke. If they're killing it, get up there and address it and be like, oh my God, give it up for Steven. He crushed it right now. oh man, he's gonna really make me work for it right now. You know, just whatever, and then tag one of their jokes. Oh, Steven was talking about homelessness in LA. Once I was homeless. Let me tell you about that story and get into your joke. Whatever. Trying to be funny on the spot. Me driving and being funny is not something I'm good at. Maybe I'll get better the more I record. I do come up with funny shit when I'm talking to other people, but like just on my own while I'm driving, maybe not so much. But I can try. But yeah, here we go. I won't be able to record inside the improv room. I mean, I always record my set, but they don't allow video, so I always record audio. And that's just so I can listen to it and hear it. And do my own self-critique. How was this? How was that? So I will be re-recording the audio, but I'll check up with you guys after. All right. Ciao. So I made it to the improv and threw my name in the bucket. At first it looked promising because got a fucking tree up on stage. A lot of people here today. And it just looked like maybe 40 people were there, but right around the time they started, all of a sudden people just start piling through the door, and there was a lot of people there. Name didn't get called, so again it was a wash going, spending the gas money to go over there. Again, Rita was in the room. That was good. I love watching her face when comics talk about subject matter or whatnot. I'm watching her to see what she's laughing at, how she's responding to people. I think that's really important. Overall, the comedians were really good. There were some people who got up and didn't do well, more than usual. But overall, it was good. I was just annoyed that, I don't know. I really wanted to do my jokes, really wanted to do my material, and I think that was my fourth or fifth time going without getting called. So that's annoying when that happens. I mean, even if I say $10 and gas in my big truck to get over the hill and get back, I mean, I've spent $50 now for a chance to get up on stage and haven't. Yesterday was a long day. I did come up with some good joke premises, so I'm gonna work on those a little bit today. But yeah, blah. Another blah post. Like I want to be able to blog on here, or vlog, whatever you want to freaking call it, and show you guys some wins, because there are wins along the way, but it sucks like going, days and days and days and not having anything good to talk about. But I mean, hey, the life of a comedian. Grass is always greener. We look at comics and we're like, oh man, he's killing it. She's killing it. She's everywhere. But I guarantee you, this is what it's like too. There's a lot of time in between stage time where you're just dissatisfied. You're over critiquing. You're analyzing everything you're doing, going, am I doing it right? Is this the right choice? Is that the right choice? Are these the right jokes? Are these jokes even funny? Maybe I should go back and do accounting work. Maybe I should go back and work at that insurance company. Maybe I should go back to selling real estate. You know what I looked up the other day? Can I join the military at my age? Not like full out join, because I know you can't. I think the cutoff is 35 years old. But I was in the military for 6 years. So even though I'm past that 35-year cutoff, I was thinking like, oh, would I be able to go like into the reserves or National Guard, and you know, since I already have 6 years in the Army, can I go back at my age? Because I was like, oh, you got to get 20 years to get a full out, like, paid out pension from the military. And I was like, well, I have 6, so I was like 14. If I join at 45, I'd be able to get 15 more years by the time I'm 60. And that's the type of shit you think about as a comedian. A lot of self-doubt. A lot of, what if I would have did this? What if I would have did that? You're constantly analyzing your life and your choices. I even mentioned it to my wife. I was like, hey, babe. Like, I was thinking, like, maybe... And she was like, no. Absolutely not. No. Comedy.